Hey guys, welcome back to the Cult Classic Kids Show, and today we have to talk about the upcoming film Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem, because if you initially thought that something was up here, something's up in Denmark, yeah, it's actually worse than initially perceived, depending on, how you feel about the current state of what we know about this film. But, the basis is that they showed off this trailer for this upcoming animated Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, and has led to a lot of discourse online, a lot of it being honestly super disrespectful, pointing at you, Angry Joe, for, without using the specific words, accusing people of some really heinous things in terms of the description of said heinous things, just because they don't agree with you. We've seen a lot of that. The most problematic thing that seems to have caused the most, immature discourse really on Twitter is surrounded around the reality that they both race swapped April O'Neil as well as made her obese, which to me, I'm not into it, man. A lot of fake news out there, I guess you could say, in regards to a lot of people wanting to pretend that April O'Neil was originally black. And if you want to check out the truth behind that, please go visit the Ashen Lucas YouTube channel, which she gets into the fact that, no, that's not the case. She actually goes in depth on it. I couldn't make a better video on it, so I'll link her video in the description below if you actually want to know the truth behind that all. But yeah, a lot of people are coming out with their 2-second Googled history, fake history information, and passing it off as, oh yeah, she was always meant to be black. Well, no, I'm sorry, that's not the case, and she was certainly never meant to be fat. Okay, I think we can all agree on that. If you want to overlook that, I mean, whatever, but I don't wish to overlook it, and don't come at me with the whole, oh man, it's an animated film, you just want to sexualize April O'Neil, it's a cartoon, MFR, and it's just like, if you think I care too much, then you also care too much because you're in the comment section with that nonsense, so I really don't want to hear it. But unfortunately, that's bad. Also, the fact that apparently it's a possibility that Donatello may in fact be transgender. And if that's the case, I'm throwing myself out of a fucking window. Not really, but yeah, I guess, in my mind, I'll be throwing myself out of the window and just imagining it and it not being real life. Don't worry, I'm good on this, guys. But yeah, it actually somehow even gets worse than that. And yeah, shout out to Bounding Into Comics for bringing this up, but also shout out to Spencer Bacali. I will link the article in the description below. But in regards to this, Seth Rogen's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem to gender swap Leatherhead and Wingnut. So it goes deeper than this, and it's not necessarily a race thing at this point. These people have just hijacked a very well-known franchise and are choosing to do with it what they want to, and all at the expense of, the original concept for all of these characters entirely, as far as I could tell. But here it says, while most fans' attention were understandably focused on producer Seth Rogen's decision to subject April O'Neil to her second such race swap in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem, it seems 2 more members of the Turtles cast have likewise received a quote-unquote modern update. And yeah, that's April, and to me that's not April, I'm sorry. Why couldn't she look like Vanity or Marilyn McCoo? People that I actually, think are awesome. Donna Summer was one that was brought up that, I mean, if she looked like Donna Summer, as a huge fan of Donna Summer, I wouldn't mind that at all. I would fight for her, okay? Because, I'm a Donna Summer shill, admittedly, so I can't help it. I'm just being honest with you guys. If it were to happen, just know that's the side I'm gonna take, just because inspiration from Donna Summer. At least I'm honest, right, guys? But yeah, it says these changes revealed into a series of promotional images released alongside the trailer, which did announce the actors' participation but did not specifically their roles. It appears that Wingnut and Leatherhead will have their genders swapped in their silver screen debuts. This is this is like ridiculous, man. It's almost as though to piss you off entirely on purpose, right? I mean, I don't want to assume such, but it almost feels as though they just don't give a fuck about you. They want to spit in your face all while telling you to pay to watch their product. It's amazing how that works, right? How, you know, how much white privilege motherfuckers like Seth Rogan have, I guess, right? But per said images, the franchise's resident Batman parody will be portrayed by actress Natasha Demetriou. I'm sorry if I'm butchering that. It's not intentional by any means. I just can't read. One of the stars of the television version of What We Do in the Shadows. So, yes, Natasha is Wingnut. And Wingnut is not a female, so there's something clearly wrong here. And then here, while the fan-favorite crocodile mutant will be brought to life by Peter Rabbit and X-Men first-class star Rose Byrne. So yeah, Leatherhead. This is just very, very, very strange to me, man. It's like, if you want to do your own thing, then just do your own thing. Have the courage to do your own thing. This, at this point, just comes off as absolute cowardice to me. Like, creators aren't really creative in modern day, at least the ones that actually get to pull strings and, you know, do these sorts of projects. They're afraid to do the things that they want to do because they know they probably know it'd be inferior and it wouldn't do well. I mean, that's just the reality of the situation. So let's hijack said well-known franchise. A franchise such as TMNT that, you know, has always been culturally significant throughout my entire life and even before I was born. But let's continue. As noted above, these casting decisions under the presumption that, like both this film and Across the Spider-Verse, respective characters must share their superficial traits with their voice actors, will result in the two characters being presented as women rather than their originally intended male forms. It's just, at this point, it's just nauseating. Like, this makes me sick. And it's not because is it a big deal in the grand scheme of things? No, it's just entertainment. But it's just the fact that people do this very spitefully. And they don't care. They don't care, and they inevitably make lackluster products because it's not like they're truly in the spirit of something such as Ninja Turtles. Matter of fact, it's the complete opposite. A lot of time, a lot of so-called creators in this space don't even like the very things that they are working on. Some even hate it. J.J. Abrams with Star Trek. He openly admitted that he hated Star Trek, the original Star Trek. So why did he get to make 2 Star Trek movies starring the original cast? Like, I don't understand how that works. How do you hate something and you still get to make said thing? Inevitably, you're going to change it. That's just how it is. You don't like it, so you're going to change it to suit what you like. Which, you know, that's not how this should work. Because it alienates the fan base of said thing. First briefly introduced in the Peter Laird-produced comic series included with American food producer Layston Perina's 1989 serial, Wingnut makes his first proper appearance in the 123rd episode of the 1987 animated series Zack and the Alien Invaders. See, I'm learning stuff that, shit, I really didn't even know. Like, for me, my first go into, story time, guys. So for me, how I started getting into Turtles, I missed the 80s run. Honestly, I've only watched like a couple of episodes, and from what I've seen of it, it's awesome. But for me, it's that early 2000s Ninja Turtles, that dark, cool look to all the Turtles. The atmosphere is awesome. I love the early 2000s run of Turtles. To me, it was perfect. It was mature enough looking for me when I was like 10. Like, I was super into it, you know, because of the look. And I always wanted stuff that was more adult-ish, or it came off as such, and that art style is perfect for me. Honestly, as an ignorant child of like the 7 to 10-year-old range, I would have looked at the 80s version if I had seen it at the time, been like, oh hell no, I don't want that Barney shit. I want like the early 2000s Ninja Turtles. But you know, looking at the 80s Ninja Turtles, there's nothing wrong with it. It's great for its time. Watched a couple episodes of school. I actually wouldn't mind wanting to go through the series just to get more of an early look at how Turtles were before I was introduced to them. I also played the 3D Ninja Turtles games on PS2. Actually, I think I had it on a GameCube at the time. I've recollected them, but I have them on the PS2 now. But I really enjoyed those games. A lot of fun. Also based on the 2000s, the early 2000s Ninja Turtles game. Co-op, real cool 3D. Oh man, I just remember playing those for hours, man. It's so much fun. And yeah, there's been plenty of moments where I've been into Ninja Turtles at different points in my life, and always revisiting Ninja Turtles whenever I have, for the most part. Besides that Activision game that they released early PS4 generation that was absolute garbage. Oh my god, what a hot steaming pile of crap. But yeah, that's pretty much generals on how I was into Ninja Turtles. And a lot of my friends are also into Ninja Turtles, some of them older than me. And it's one of those things like we've bonded on. Like, you know, like we all love Turtles. We all have like kind of our favorites. Personally, I could take Leo, Raph, or Mikey. Donnie I've never been super into, but I respect Donnie. Smart guy. Definitely cool in his own right. Just not a particular one that I always go out of my way for. So I can take any of the other three to play as in any game. Recently played Shredder's Revenge and went through that game so many times as all but 2 characters, if I remember correctly. Freaking awesome. And what's awesome about that game is that you get to play as April O'Neil, where she's not fat. So yeah, you can kick ass with April. That is, you know, and you can't, I'm sorry, to do the things that April's doing, you can't be obese. That's just what it is. I'm sorry, guys. I can't get over that, man. Like, why are we glorifying obesity in America? I just can't get over it. Obesity is the greatest fight of our generation. A lot of people don't want to believe that. A lot of people be super upset that I'm saying that, but it's true, man. It leads to so many conditions, and it holds you back, genuinely. Take it as someone that was 60 pounds heavier a little over a year ago, man. It does hold you back. It makes you feel worse. It does ruin the quality of your life and your happiness. So to, like, you know, to not acknowledge that obesity is the greatest fight of our lifetime, is insane to me. And it's sad because it's holding so many people back in so many different ways. But let us continue here. Therein, the bat-like creature is depicted as an alien invader intended to take over planet Earth. His plan to turn the children of Earth into mindless zombies, ultimately stopped by the Turtles, and franchise's expanded universe later sees Wingnut become one of the first staunchest allies. Controversy through Wingnut is a rather minor character in the whole TMNT lore. Leatherhead is one of the series' most recognizable and beloved characters. Rising from the sewers in the 6th issue of Ryan Brown and Jim Lawson's canon 1988 series Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles itself launched a Mirage Studios to specifically introduce characters that expand on the Turtles' support cast. Leatherhead began life as a baby alligator in the Florida Everglades. However, after coming into contact with the series' signature mutagen, Leatherhead found himself not only sporting a new humanoid form, but also an equivalent intellect. So yeah, I mean, gotta respect like this old art, man. Love it. Absolutely love it. I love anything that comes off retro. Just, I don't know, I just gravitate toward it. It just looks so cool. In the aftermath of his change, Leatherhead finds himself regularly running into the Turtles, sometimes as their enemy, a role he most notably fulfilled in the 1987 cartoon, but mostly as their ally. And of course, as is particularly obvious given the constantly shirtless appearance, Leatherhead was originally created as a male character. So yeah. In a brief aside, these character alterations, April included, come as particularly hilarious, as while Rogan clearly made them in the name of representation, his own role in the film as Bebop Script actually whitewashes an originally black character. Well, that's interesting. As shown during his pop culture debut in the 1987 cartoon's very first episode prior to being exposed to Shredder's machinations. Oh my god, I'm sorry. Bebop was an outright black man. But, yeah, so that's interesting. Honestly, I didn't even know that. I don't know if it's because, like, my memory is just eludes me. Oh man, I should have known. His name is Barry Gordon. Honestly, I didn't know Bebop's name. I don't know, maybe I'm a fake Ninja Turtles fan, but hey man, can't remember everything, right? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutant Mayhem grinds into theaters on August 4th, 2023. So it's interesting that they do bring that up, because it just goes to show that these people are so full of shit, people like Seth Rogan and such. They don't really care about representation. It's all about stirring the pot in order to, you know, basically advertise their films. Even if it's through bad press, they don't really care. So, I'm not surprised. I'm actually glad that Spencer brought this up. Thank you so much, Spencer, for, you know, keeping it 100. I definitely learned something today, so I appreciate that. But, yeah, guys, in regards to... You know what, let's just get into something else real quick. So real quick, we're not going to deep dive into this article, and honestly, it's not like I really value Screen Rant's opinion in any way, shape, or form, but, you know, when it comes down to fans with TMNT, if you don't accurately represent them, it could be costly. And just take Netflix's Rise of the TMNT movie, it apparently was supposed to be 3 seasons, and... what ended up happening was it got canceled halfway through the 2nd season. I don't know if you noticed, but there's definitely some choice art styles here. Now, overall, I just think that this art style is particularly ugly, and they did originally have a race-swapped April in this, though, personally, I think that she's at least passable in terms of her looks. She's not obese, so by that front, definitely more passable than what we're getting. But it goes to show, you know, if you don't respect the lore of TMNT, it seems as though the fans just don't get with it. And, you know, it's just saying here, when Rise of the TMNT premiered, it was meant to last for 3 seasons. However, low toy sales paired with poor marketing caused Nickelodeon to cancel the 3rd season and cut the 2nd in half. So... yeah, when it comes down to it, I don't think Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fans are as stupid as Seth Rogan, as well as the other individuals that are pulling the strings particularly think that they are. And given how ugly those turtles look in terms of as a cartoon, can't imagine how shitty their toys are. And while I don't really have the biggest issue with the animation of the Mutant Mayhem trailer, I don't think it's like the worst, but I don't think it's necessarily good either. The turtles themselves do look really questionable, and the more that we hear about this, the more things just sound bad. It's not really a race issue. It's more so just a bunch of fucking white guilt losers that have a diversity quota to fill, if it be, you know, in terms of race or gender, that they're willing to, you know, just fill the quota of, but they don't really genuinely care. You know, if that were the case, Seth Rogen wouldn't be portraying an originally black character. So to me, it's just a bunch of people that are just full of crap. But yeah, guys, it's been a long video. Oh my gosh. But anyways, guys, let me know what you think about this. If you can, like this video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Become a channel member if you'd like to join our Discord community. It's a growing community that I'm really enjoying and running away from Twitter to lately, which has been really fun. Just got done actually watching Terminator 2 in the Discord. Loved it. And guys, if you can, follow me over on Twitch or Twitter if you want to continue the conversation. And with that being said, I'm out. Peace.